Hi, everyone. This is Tiffany, your host, owner, and creator of The Mix. Thank you for tuning in to my channel. Thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you to all my viewers. Let me hop right into it. This is breaking news. Yes, it is. According to Chicago NBC News, Cook County prosecutor Kim Fox has dropped the R. Kelly charges. Yes, has dropped the R. Kelly charges in the state case. Mind you, this is a state case, you guys. It's a state case. So let me read an excerpt from this digital article from NBC News. It says, Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox told reporters that her office believes justice has been served with the two convictions. When she states that, that means the two federal convictions, you guys. And I have a video dropping on February 1st about the federal appeals cases because those two federal cases which R. Kelly was convicted in, one in New York, the RICO, he was convicted in 2021 for that, and then one in Chicago, he was convicted in 2022. Both are federal cases. So this is what Kim Fox is referring to. She believes that justice was served in those two cases, but they're up for appeal. So, and I do believe, and I stand with that, and I stand by what I said. I do believe he has a strong appeals case. Okay. According to NBC News Chicago, Kim Fox further states that she said that her offices has limited resources and court time were the ultimate factors, noting that it found the accusations to be credible, though. So basically, and this is what it is when there's either whether a federal or state case, when it comes to prosecutors, DAs, they are paid by the taxpayers, us, we pay them. So they do have a budget and has a money allocated for prosecuting cases on an annual basis, I believe. I'm not quite sure how they do that, but I know definitely there is a budget. There's normally typically a budget for the state to bring forth charges. Because taxpayers are paying, we're paying the state's attorneys, we're paying the local municipalities and all of that. So we're paying for law enforcement, we're paying for all of that. So basically, they had limited resources, but as she stated, their office believed that he was should have been prosecuted for that. However, they are not pursuing prosecution because of this. Also, she states that Mr. Kelly is looking at the possibility of never walking out of prison again. Yeah, she said possibility. Pay attention to words. Remember, both federal cases are up on appeal. And the appeals attorney who represented Bill Cosby, her name is Jennifer Bongine. She is a beast, and I say that respectfully. But she's a beast in terms of her legal skills and her tenacity and going up against the best, going up against the big boys in the court of law. So I don't know. I'm really passionate about this, you guys. So excuse me if I seem just too invested, but I'm passionate about the law, how the process and navigating it and things of that nature. And when you've taken legal classes and you discover and uncover certain things, it's like, wow, so, and I always state that it's not actually the laws that are on books, which in some sense it is. However, it's the key players. It's the narrative. It's how the law enforcement writes up the charges, the story, what happened, what did this person do, and then you have the DA, the prosecutors, the state's attorneys. How do they take that and apply it to the law? Are they doing it correctly, fairly? There's rules to this. There's rules to this, and they are attorneys. The state's attorney, DA. They are attorneys, but they're attorneys for the state. So, what are the methods they're taking to fairly and justly prosecute anyone who commits a crime? And I'm not for crime, but like I state, when you're in these authoritative and powerful positions, you can't abuse your authority. You don't supposed to. I guess in a perfect world, it won't happen. But hey, we live in an imperfect world. So yeah, there you have it, you guys. January 30th, they announced Cook County State's attorney dropping all charges. There was 4 charges against Mr. Kelly in the state case. So, but yeah, there you have it. It's here on the mix. It's here on the mix. Be expecting more R. Kelly case updates with regards to the appeal. As soon as I receive information, I will be here giving it to you guys. And also stay tuned for more Tory Lanez appeals case updates, all of that stuff. Um, Again, I am not an attorney. I'm not here to give legal advice. This is just my commentary. So I thank you guys for tuning in for my commentary, my opinions, and my reaction to these cases with regard to the appeals process and any other developing news that's come to the forefront on these cases or any other subject matter. So thank you all for tuning into the mix. I have the R. Kelly appeals case video dropping tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And after that, my next R. Kelly video relating to the appeals case is going to dive more into the grounds, what constitutes the grounds of an appeal. In terms of the law and a possible argument, this is just going to be from a hypothetical, opinionated, of course, point of view, and it all connects to my reaction over to this overall case. And to be honest, I've said it before, I do not believe he should have been prosecuted in the beginning, just like with Bill Cosby. So, but when when it comes to, like I said, prosecutors following the rules of law, evidence, all of that, so they have to color inside the lines. They have to color inside the lines, and that means they have to, because they've made an oath, to be ethical and all of that, and justice is supposed to be fair. There should be a scale of the scale of balance that is the image to represent the justice system. It should be balanced. It should be. And absolutely it's not. It's not. So, but that's why you have an appeal process. That's why you have that. That is why you have that, especially when you don't cop a plea. When you don't cop a plea. That's why I believe Tory Lanez has a strong chance of his appeal being granted and all of that and being successful. When you don't cop pleas and you really stand behind that you're not guilty, whatever the case may be, hey, it's a strong chance. Yeah, it's a long process, but it's a strong chance the appeal will go in your favor, especially if there was some questions in prosecution uh, and violations of due process, or some type of miscarriage of justice. With it could be witness issues, it could be how the trial went during court, or jury instructions, were they clear? It's just so many factors that could definitely overturn a case that one has been found guilty of at the trial court level. So that's a lot to take into consideration. This is chess, not checkers. Um, and again, thank you guys for tuning into the mix. And I knew in a sense that this would happen with the Cook County State's case, because I know there was some chatter back in November and December about dropping it, but I never seen anything official come to the public eye. So it was just announced. It was just announced. So they made the decision. Cook County State's attorney made that decision, you guys, to drop all charges against Mr. Kelly. So there you have it. And I'm not surprised, because it does take money and resources. If you don't have the money and resources, and when it comes to um, these budgets that the prosecutors have, they have budgets that they have to stay within. And when you have these high powered attorneys, they have a limited amount of resources, especially if their client has the money. They have a unlimited amount of resources to advocate for their client. It's about money as well. It's just, oh my gosh, it's really, really complex, you guys. But go ahead, let's get the conversation going in my comment section. What is your commentary, your opinion about the state charges being dropped? And also, do you believe R. Kelly has a strong appeals case under his belt? Do you believe that there's likely a chance that his appeals in a federal case in New York, the RICO case, which I just don't even understand how that was even a RICO charge? And then too, I heard too that particular conviction there's probably some a jurisdiction issue. So that's even worse. Oh gosh. So you can't be this overzealous prosecutor and not following the rules, or whether it be intentionally or unintentionally, because some of them, sometimes you don't know. Everybody don't know everything. I don't know everything. Heck, you don't know everything, And sometimes we error in our work, we error in our life, and that happens. However, when you're the in that type of field of study, when you're in that legal field, you can't afford to really err, because that's someone's lives, that's their livelihood. Also, it's just like the medical field. Ugh, do mistakes happen? Do people get misdiagnosed? Do people get prescribed medication? Do they get overprescribed? Does the doctors make mistakes on the surgery table? Absolutely. Does nurses make mistakes? Do people die under their belt, under their watch, because of their actions, their mistakes they make? Is it malpractice? Yes, absolutely. Mistakes happen, whether it be intentional or unintentional. But that's why they have the insurance. That's why they have so many different avenues where the person who's impacted, who has been wrong, can seek remedy, can seek resolution. How can we resolve this? My loved one was died under your watch, in the surgery room. What was the actual complications? Let's dig into this. That's when a civil case come into play. And then you have with criminal, oh, the person states that they're not guilty. Okay, they get convicted by a jury or a judge. Okay, they could get convicted by a jury or judge. So with that being said, okay, I'm not guilty. I still profess that I'm not guilty. I'm not guilty. I'm not guilty. So okay, I'm going to file an appeal. That's why we have the appeals court. Okay, so let's uncover this. Let's unpack this. Let's start peeling everything back. What did the police do? What did the prosecutors do? Where did these charges come from? Was there any errors? How was the jury selection? Did you have a competent attorney? Everything comes into play. And if there's one error, is there's a constitutional error, one error, blatant error, whether it was intentional or not, that's grounds for a possible appeal, and that's grounds for it to your conviction for being overturned. So there's a lot to unpack with this. Like I said, nobody's perfect, but when you're in those type of authoritative, powerful positions and you're making decisions over people's lives, you gotta come correct. You gotta come correct. You should come correct initially, and if you don't know, you don't know. So, yeah, let's get the conversation going. What do you think about the charges being dropped in the Chicago state case? Again, remember this is the Chicago state case. Remember, R. Kelly was convicted in Chicago in the federal case. That's different jurisdictions. State and federal are two different, entities or whatever. Um, and he was convicted in the New York federal case, and that's a whole different state or whatever. So yeah, let's get the discussion going down in the comments section. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe to my channel. What are your thoughts on this? And also, do you believe R. Kelly has a strong appeal, especially after this? Especially after this, with the dismissal, not dismissal, but the dropping of the charges in the state case. So thank you guys for tuning in to the mix. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tune in for all your R. Kelly appeals update news. And I'm coming from an opinionated, reactionary, and commentary perspective. So, based off of the information I gather through a variety of different sources, platforms, from Twitter to IG and things of that nature, and just surfing the internet, surfing Google. So this is where my information is being derived from, to bring this to you guys. So I will talk to you all soon. Bye.